Mr. Daniel to speak a bit about elephants.
Thank you. I'm just going to sit here if you don't mind. I actually, I did say I wanted to speak about, how I met my wife, but they said, no, that's for later. So, I just want to, I'm going to be very short. I lived in Botswana for 13 years. Botswana is, it's a landlocked country the size of Texas with only 2.6 million people in it. Where Texas has 30 million people and you've got wide open spaces. So you can imagine Botswana. Botswana, you literally drive for days and days and don't see anybody. It was quite a shock for me coming to India because, if I just walk in the bush, I see somebody. People are everywhere. But Botswana is an incredible country, although it's extremely dry. It's a dry country. We have the Okavango Delta, which is amazing, which is fed by the Angola highlands. Every year, the floods come in and bring the water, and this is a paradise for animals. Botswana has over 200,000 elephants, and it's an amazing place. I want to speak just a little bit on something I heard when it comes to climate change. I was fortunate to be with one of the researchers who there were 9 researchers who were doing a paper on baobabs. I don't know, a baobab tree. The particular one that they studied is called Chapman baobab. It's got a circumference of 20 meters. And what they did with this baobab was they took a core out of this baobab. Now, baobabs live for approximately about 3,000 years. And Chapman's baobab is a very, very old tree. And they were able, from this core, to look at weather patterns for the last 900 years in Botswana. So, in this time, they could see when the rains were, which years were good rains, which were bad rains, and basically, how the weather pattern was in the last 900 years, and which I found extremely interesting. And they were saying that, he said to put it very, very short, and it was that every 50 years there was a change in the weather pattern, and that they found in these 900 years, and that in the next 50 we've already entered into the 50th cycle of year of very dry weather, very hot weather. So Botswana is going to, that whole region is going to go into a very, very warm area and era. And we, as people, we can't change the weather. All we have to do is we have to adapt to it. And in Botswana, we know that many people there, they live off, cattle is what they have. Their cattle, they don't have money in the bank. Their cattle is their money, their wealth. And so, in the future, they're going to have to start looking at other ways because cattle are not going to survive. In the time that I was there, every year we've had so many cattle that die because of drought, because there's just not enough to eat. And when it comes to, so government's responsibility is to see and to make sure that their people are actually adjust to this climate change that is coming. And we just have to adjust to that too. When it comes to elephants in Botswana, we had this, I was fortunate to work with Elephants for Africa, not work with them, for them, I was working with them, filming for them. Elephants for Africa, they've got on the Botetle River, in a very dry area. Now the Botswana River only floods once a year. So it gets water from the Okavango Delta, and the river doesn't flow down to the sea. The water disappears into the salt pans. And this, what they've done is they've used local people, local indigenous people, to run their research program, which I find is just incredible. And one of the guys that lives, he grew up in that village, where they actually now have a major elephant problem, a lot of elephants coming in. He said when he was a child, they never saw one elephant. His parents never saw an elephant in that area. But because of the weather patterns, the change in weather patterns, elephants have moved and congregated in certain areas where they never used to before. Elephants move for kilometers. We had one elephant that was collared and it traveled something like 300 kilometers in just a few days, ending up in Zimbabwe in just a few days. So, being in Assam and seeing the elephants we have here, they're national heritage. We can't you can't lose these elephants. Just like we in Africa, we can't lose our elephants. We have to look after them. We have to protect them. But unfortunately, there is, and thank you so much for what has been said here today. And I'm sure, we've come just to help a little bit where we can, more to empower the local people to do what needs to be done. But we are, as a filmmaker and a photographer, before I'm a filmmaker and a photographer, I'm a conservationist. Because without being a conservationist, you could never be able to appreciate the wildlife. We've spent yesterday morning with the elephants, and we had a small group of people there. All of them were photographers, and they had their cameras out, and there must have been probably about 30 people, and not one of them made a sound. They let those elephants just walk past, just enjoy, and it was just incredible to see what can be accomplished if we appreciate them. We were at a village, there's a village as well where the elephants go through. That village, the people of the village don't chase the elephants, don't throw them. The ladies are working in the village and the elephants are walking just a few meters away and nothing's happening to them. And it's just so beautiful to see. We really need to appreciate what we have. And thank you so much for your hospitality here in Assam. And I believe that we're all going to win. We're going to win. Thank you so much.